Thank you. So, welcome to SK Technologies. Okay, so this is Karthik Kumar. So currently, I'm having total 7.88 years experience in IT industry. So initially, I started my career as a Linux administrator. So later, I had a chance to work on a couple of DevOps tools. So currently, I'm working in one of the reputed MNC. Okay, so base location is Bangalore. So before getting to the DevOps, okay, so we are going to teach about DevOps. So it's completely online training. So which is contains around 2.5 months. Okay, so morning only the classes will be so the same time 8 to 9. Okay, so before getting to the content, okay, so how many you guys know about already what is DevOps? I hope nowadays it's a booming in the IT industry. Okay, so all most of the projects are they are following the DevOps methodology. Actually, most of the guys they think it's a tool. Okay, so DevOps is a tool. DevOps is a tool. So and DevOps is a technology. Okay, so that is completely wrong. Okay, so your assumptions are completely wrong because DevOps it's not a tool. Okay, so it's a methodology. Okay, so methodology in the sense we have there is a standard structure. Okay, so there is a standard way you have to follow. Okay, so in the DevOps you have a lot of tools. Okay, you have to integrate all those tools and you have to make a deployment. Okay, so your main agenda, okay, so your main agenda is DevOps is a in the DevOps your main agenda is deployment. Okay, so most of the people initially they don't know. Okay, so they think this is a tool. Okay, and we have to make certification, blah blah blah, they will think actually DevOps is a it's not a tool, it's a methodology which we have to follow for making the deployment. So deployment is nothing but installation. Okay, installation of your application. Okay, application in the sense, say normally in the real time people are working for a projects, right? Okay, projects. So projects nothing but a which we are delivering to our clients. Okay, not even delivery. Okay, after delivering also we have to support them. So we will see what is that project, what is that their application, how to deploy it. Out of here what is our role? Okay, so we will be becoming DevOps engineers, right? Okay, DevOps engineer, what is our role? First we will see the what is the project. In that project what is our application? Okay, how to deploy that application. Out of this role, out of this all these things, what is our role? Because this is the DevOps training. After 2.5 months or 3 months you will be a become, okay, DevOps engineer. Okay, so as a DevOps engineer what is your role in your project? Okay, so normally uh, let's take an example. Okay, example, Flipkart. So everybody knows, right? Nowadays it's a very popular e-commerce tool. Okay, so everybody knows about Flipkart. Let's assume this is our project name. Okay, so the Flipkart company, I mean vendors are our clients. Okay, so everybody knows, right, e-commerce. If you just click on open your browser and type Flipkart, you will get a, okay, you will get the page like this. See, the main name and the search criteria box, login. And, okay, there are many products they are selling through online by using this site. Okay, so let's assume this is our project. Okay, so as a DevOps engineer, you have to deploy that application. Okay, your application name as a Flipkart having some version 1.0.0 initially. Okay, Flipkart 1.0.0. You have to deploy this application. Okay, so you have to follow SDLC. SDLC in the sense software
Okay.
development
And
life cycle. Okay, so software development life cycle, you have to follow this. After that, you have to hand over, I mean delivery to your your application to vendors or clients. Okay, clients. Actually, before delivering this application, you have to deploy, right? Before deploy, you have to make a code. Okay, you have to develop this application. Before that, you have to design that. Okay, so there are couple of stages you have to follow. Okay, so couple of stages you have to follow. Then only you can develop it and deploy and finally delivery to your clients. Okay, so this is the project. Let's assume Flipkart is one of the e-commerce project, right? So if somebody installed in the background, then only we are able to access this Flipkart, right? If something running in the background, then only we are able to access, we are accessing this site, correct? So before installing that, we have to follow some stages. Okay, that's all stages are under your SDLC, software development lifecycle. Okay, so the first part is requirement. So this vendor will come and he will provide a project to you, right? Your company, like any one MNC company. Okay, like IBM, you can take an example as IBM. This is your MNC company. Okay, this vendors, Flipkart vendors are providing a project to IBM. Okay, so IBM, what it will do first in this requirement stage? Okay, SMEs, okay, or senior developers. Okay, senior developers and project managers all together, they will sit, okay, with client. Okay, so they will sit and they will receiving the requirements from the Flipkart vendors. Okay, so what kind of requirements? So like the home page will be like this. Okay, so they want to come all the products like this. Okay, they have to develop the login page. Okay, and orders, everything. So whatever Flipkart requires, that application requires, all those taking as a requirements. This is the first step. Okay, so in this requirement stage, so who will be involving? SMEs, like the senior subject matter experts. Okay, and senior developers. Okay, and project managers. Okay, so all these guys sit together and receiving the requirements. Okay, after that, the second stage will be design. Okay, so design here. Okay, so here architecture people will sit. Okay, architecture people are team leaders also. Okay, so in the first stage, what they will do, they will receiving all the requirements from the vendors, and they are handovering to design people. So in the design stage, the design architecture people, based on the requirements, so they will design their application. Okay, so they will design their application. It means, so what kind of language, what kind of computer language they want to use. Okay, and what kind of servers they want. The see, finally all applications are running on servers only. Okay, So based on the requirements, so they will design their application. Okay, what are the requirements required, what are the dependencies required, okay, so what kind of environments they want to build, okay, and what is the what OS operating system they want to use for this project. Okay, after that our developers, okay, so development, in this development all developers, okay, so developers will involve, okay, based on the design they will develop their code like in the Java language, okay, or .NET language, whatever designed in the this architecture will design. Okay, so based on the design they will mention what kind of language they have to use. Okay, so based on that all development people, okay, work together and develop their code. Okay, fine. After that, this is our role. Okay, here as a DevOps engineer, this is your main agenda of your role. Okay, deployment. Okay, so deployment here. Okay, so here DevOps engineers nowadays. Okay, in the olden days, middleware admin, but nowadays whoever following the DevOps methodology, okay, so they are DevOps engineers, okay, comes into the picture and they are deploying this application. Okay, so okay, after deployment, okay, so directly we can't delivery that application to the vendors. Okay, because we have to test it. Okay, the application functionality you have to test it. Okay, after that only, okay, testing will involve. In the testing QA people will work. Okay, so fine. After testing your application functionalities all are working fine, then you have to deliver your application to the vendors. So this is the process of SDLC. Okay, so here as a DevOps engineer, your role will be here like deployment. Okay, after development, the code which will be developers. Okay, so after that you have to deploy your application. Okay, so after deployment you have to hand over to testing team. The testing team quality analysis people, okay, so they will test their your application. If it is everything fine, then you have to deliver your application to the vendors. This is the story behind the SDLC. After delivery, that is that is not enough. Okay, you have to provide service, you have to provide support to your, okay, your client, because we can't predict the issues, right? So even after delivery also, if we in case if we face any issues, okay, the maintenance stage, okay, under maintenance support team people, okay, so these people are working as a 24 by 7. Okay, so because your client your product your application working in 24 by 7 to the end users. Okay, so that's the reason support team will involve here, and they will provide support to your clients, okay, your vendors. Okay, in case if they face any issues, so these people will sort it out. Okay, this is the SDLC process. Okay, so here in the fourth step, okay, so here your work will be, okay, so your work will be like this: deployment. This is main agenda. Okay, so far any questions getting this? Any questions? If no
Yeah,
questions,
hi Karthik. This is Harish.
yes,
So Karthik, as you're telling that our main role is like deployment. Whatever the developers are developing, just we are deploying those applications, right?
exactly, exactly.
We are not involving into any development kind of things.
No, no, we are not involving because there is a team called application team. Okay, so developer team. So they will involve on how to develop their code based on the design.
Okay.
Okay, once they're done, we are retrieving that code and we are making the deployments.
Okay. Again, I have one question. If we are deploying something, if we find any bugs or something, right?
Yes.
Whether we have to pass those things to testing team or else again we have to pass those things to development team.
See,
Because
actually,
after,
after
yeah.
deployment, okay, so we are configuring the email notifications. Okay, so
Okay.
email notification in the sense the status of your job. Okay, the
Okay.
status of your deployment. So we will set up the recipients as the developers, testing, and all the people, project manager. Okay, so they will
Okay.
receive the notification and they will check the status and their logs. Okay, logs of your deployment. So if they
Okay.
face any issue based on the log, okay, respective people will work. If it is functionality kind of issues or bugs means, okay, testing people will involve. So anyway,
Okay.
developers definitely they will involve in all the issues. Okay, so first they will
Yeah.
identify. Okay,
Okay.
before that we also uh, we have to read that log. So based on the log we will identify the log belongs to which criteria.
Okay.
Okay, so that is sometimes depends on the error message. Okay,
Okay. Yeah.
so if it
Understood.
is related to application, then we'll move to development team. So they will check and they will sort it out.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thanks.
Thanks.
Any other questions? Okay, so this is the SDLC process. Okay, so here our DevOps engineer's role will come. Okay, the main agenda of DevOps engineer is deployment only. Okay, fine. So in the not only the Flipkart, in all other real-time projects also, they are following the same only. Okay, so a lot of MNCs owning the projects, right? So in this way only, first they will take requirements. Okay, based on the requirement, architecture people will design that. Okay, after design, the development team will involve and they will prepare. They will develop the code. Okay, based on the design. After that, we are deploying. Whoever following the DevOps methodology, so DevOps team will involve here. Okay, in the before DevOps methodology, middleware admins, okay. So middleware admin, these team will involve on the deployments. Okay. Once they're done the deployment, they are hand over to testing team. These testers, they will do application functionality testings. Okay. If everything fine means, then they are ready to deliver their application to the clients. Okay. This is the story. Okay, now we will see how to make this deployment. Okay, what I have said, after development is done means we will retrieve that code and we are making the deployments, right? Now we will see how to make this deployment. Okay, so end of the day, all the projects, all the these applications running on the servers only. Okay, so let me take this. Okay, so these are the developers. Okay, so they prepared the code. Okay, let's assume they prepared the code and they are keeping all the code in one location. Okay, so because they we have to retrieve that code, right, after the developing, and in the development there may be 10 to 15 people all works together and they are preparing the code, right? So that's the reason in the central hub location everyone wants to see their code, right? So that's the reason they will keep all the code in one location. Okay, from there, so like you can assume this is the Java project. Okay, so .java files, all the files, okay, they will develop and they will hand over to DevOps team. Okay, so now the code is ready, and application need to be run on servers, any servers. Okay, this is application server. Application server, see, directly after development, so the directly this Java, we can't run on the servers. Okay, it's not possible. Why? Because it is in a human readable format. Okay, so we can't install directly, correct? So after developing is done, then we have to see, not here multiple files they will define. Okay, not even the coding, so they will define dependencies, they will define libraries. Okay, so all the requirements whatever required for that application, all that requirements they will define, and they will place all the files, okay, number of files in the one location. Okay, so direct we can't possible. So that's the reason we have to make all those files. Okay, let's assume these are contains like 50 files. Okay, all the 50 files related to Java coding. Okay, all these 50 files we are not supposed to install on the application server. Okay, that's the reason all these 50 files we will, okay, making as one one file. Okay, one file you are not supposed to call as a file, you may call as a, okay, one package, you may call as a package. Okay, all these first 50 files becomes one package. If you want to make this package, we have to use the build tool. Okay, any of one build tool. By using that build tool, okay, we are making these 50 files into the one package. Okay, now again this directly this package, okay, it's not supposed to install on your application server, because this package we are not sure what they developed. Okay, we are not sure, we can't trust them directly. Okay, so we have to test that source code. Okay, whatever they developed, we have to test, we have to scan it. So what are the standards they have followed? Okay, so that's the reason we have to use one scanning tool. Okay, this is the build tool. Okay, so this is the build tool. This one, okay, this one scanning tool, because we can't trust them, right? What standards they have followed during the coding. Okay, so we have to scan this package. Okay, this their source code we have to scan by using the scanning tool. Okay, so from here to here it will come. Okay, after that we will scan it. Okay, then if the scanning results it's become success means, it means they followed the nice standards and they followed all as based on the design. Okay, so they developed very well. Okay, then, okay, so then we are ready to deploy our package on application server. Okay, so this is the in between we are see every day they are developing, and they are developing, making updates in their code, right? So every day multiple packages we are creating. Okay, so for that reason this packages we are keeping one repository. Okay, so one location that called as a artifact repository. So you may call as a package or artifacts also. This is the pure technical word, if you have to use. Okay, artifacts, this package is nothing but artifacts. All these artifacts we are storing in one location, that location called as a artifact repository. Okay, artifact repository. Okay, So this one, artifact repository. It means it contains all the artifacts. It means the packages. Thereafter, we are deploying our application on application server. Thereafter, we are handovering to testing team. Okay, so QA team. That's it. Okay, the way how you are retrieving the code, the way how you are building your artifacts, and how you are scanning your source code, and keeping a copy in the artifact repository. Thereafter, how you are deploying your application. This is your all these things called as a deployment. Okay, who will do this deployment? DevOps engineer. Okay, so DevOps engineer will perform this application, will deployment all the story. Okay, so retrieving the code, making the bundle, scan it, artifact repository. Okay, thereafter deployment on any one of application server. Okay, this all this procedure called as a deployment. Okay, who will do that deployment? DevOps engineer. Okay, so that is the reason we have to deal all the tools. Okay, we have to know what is this location, where developers are keeping their that their source code. Okay, what is that location? So how to configure it, how to manage it. Okay, after that, how to build your package. So what is the build tool you have to know. Okay, so in the build tool, how you are preparing your artifact. Okay, after that, how you are scanning your source code. What is the scanning tools? Okay, so all these tools we are going to discuss in this course. Okay, because this is your main role, right? So this is main your agenda, right? So that's the reason how you are integrating all these tools. Okay, how you are making this deployment. Okay, in the automation. Automation in the sense no manual involvement, right? Okay, so this is a one time setup. After that, you no need to deal with all the tools. Okay, so we have to integrate all these tools with a tool called as a CI/CD. Okay, by using this CI/CD tool, you are integrating. Okay, you are integrating all these tools. Okay, all this, see, this one, this source code management tool, build tool, scanning tool, all these tools are you are going to integrate with one tool called as a CI/CD. Okay, because you have to make automation, right, on deployment. So that's the reason. Sorry, sorry. So that's the reason you have to use this CI/CD tool, continuous integration, continuous delivery tool. After that, here you are making your deployment as a 100% automation. Okay, so sometimes 90% automation are you're making, and 100% also. Okay, we will see what is 90% and what is 100%, how to make your deployment 100% automation. Okay, so automation in the sense no humans are will involved, right? No manual work. Okay, so that is the reason we will see all these tools. Okay, if you observe the course contents. Okay, these are the tools you have to follow, you have to know as a DevOps engineer. And finally, by using the CI/CD tool as a Jenkins. Okay, so we are deploying our application on application server. And if you observe operating system, I have mentioned as a Linux. Okay, because all these tools we are going to install on Linux operating system. And even this application server host operating system also Linux only. Okay, because as I said, the design. Okay, these architecture people, they will recommend it to use the Linux operating system in the most of the real-time projects. So in the real-time projects, most of the applications are running on Linux operating system only. Okay, so that is the reason the first content of my course I have defined as a Linux. You should aware the Linux. how much sufficient for the DevOps engineer, that much only I will teach you. Okay, I'm going to teach you that much only, because the Linux is very very important for not even DevOps engineers, all other domains also, even developers also, they have to know Linux basics at least. Okay, DB admin, network engineer, okay, and DevOps engineer, even middleware admins also, they have to know Linux. So that's the reason we will start with Linux in our course. Okay, after that we will see this location I told, right? This location known as the GitHub. Okay, source code repository, source code management tool. Okay, so this is GitHub we will discuss. After that, build tool. So build tool is a Maven we are going to teach, because most of the projects people are using Maven. That's the reason. And we have another tools also, like Gradle and few other build tools also available. But you should know one tool at least. Okay, if you very well know about the tool, then easily you can crack other tools also. Okay, and Sonar Cube, this scanning tool known as a Sonar Cube. Okay, so this scanner, what it will do, it will scan your application, source code. It will scan your source code. Okay, after that, this artifact repository. Okay, this is the Nexus tool we are going to discuss. So there we will create the repositories and you are placing your artifacts. Okay, after that, one application server. Okay, Tomcat we are going to discuss as the application server. Here, how you are deploying your this source code, this package. Okay, so we will see. After that, we will see this integration tool, CI/CD. Okay, so Jenkins, this is very very important. Okay, so in the Jenkins only, in the real time we are going to work on the Jenkins only. Okay, so this is very very important. As a DevOps engineer, you should know, you must know the CI/CD tool. Okay, so there are other tools also available in the market, like Auto Engine. Okay, Bamboo. Okay, there are many CI/CD tools, and nowadays all MNCs, they are owning their own CI/CD tool. Okay, so they are developing their own CI/CD tool and they are using. Okay, as a DevOps engineer, you should know, you must know one CI/CD. Okay, so Jenkins we will discuss. After that, there are microservices concept, because nowadays all are using their application in the form of microservices. Okay, so I will tell you what is microservices and what is the monolithic application. Okay, so for this, these all are the trending tools. These are the booming tools nowadays. Okay, Docker, Kubernetes, and you must know one cloud service. Okay, so AWS and Ansible. Okay, so we will discuss all these tools. Okay, so Jenkins onwards, all these all are the trending tools. Jenkins, Docker, Kubernetes. If you are very good in the Kubernetes, you will get very big package. Okay, so these are the tools which we are going to discuss in our DevOps course. Okay,
Karthik,
yes.
what is this orchestration tool means?
Orchestration, this is the
Yeah.
Kubernetes only. So before Kubernetes, you should know the Docker. Okay, so the
Okay.
microservices concept, how your application running in the form of containers. Okay, so those containers, so see, I told, right, this development people developed source code, we will build it, scan it and deploying. So
Yeah.
this is the normal way. This var file, this are build artifact, if it is a Java file, means Java project, mean it will end with dot var or dot ear. Okay, so directly you are deploying this var file on application server. This is the monolithic application. It means it will it will consume all the physical server resources. Okay, so if we are making this var as a container, okay, in the form of container, the same var file only, but in the form of container, it means it's a like microservices. This containers managing tool called as a orchestration tool, which is our Kubernetes.
Kubernetes.
Okay, so
Yeah, okay.
your application, end of the day, your application in the form of Docker container. That Docker containers managing tool is a orchestration tool. Okay, we will see in depth what is container, how to create it, how to make your application as a container. We will see all the story. Okay,
Yeah, sure.
any other questions on all the tools and the source course content? Okay, so Linux is a very important. Why? Because all these tools, see, okay, all these tools you are going to install on Linux operating system only. Especially you should aware installation stuff. Okay, how to install a software in a Linux operating system. You're not supposed to call as a software, you may call as a package also in Linux. Okay, any other questions? And we will go for the course requirement now. Okay, so let me edit this. The classes timing will be 8 to 9. Okay, so these are the my requirements. You should attend all the classes regularly. Okay, in fact I will record and will provide, that doesn't matter, but you should attend the classes regularly. Okay, so the complete course will be 2 months or maximum 2.5 months. Okay, so in the end of the training I will provide the one real-time project. Okay, from scratch to end. Okay, all one real-time project I will explain. Okay, and ticketing tool I will show you. Jira tickets, how I told, right, deployment is our agenda. So how people are assigning a task on you. Okay, Jira ticket I will show you, and ticketing tool I will show you. Okay, and especially my focus is on interview, because you have to crack an interview, right? Then only you will get a chance to work on DevOps. Correct. So cracking tricks I will show you. Okay, and we will start our class with the Linux. Okay, so before that I will show the lab setup, because you have to practice, right? So I will show you how to set up your lab, because all we people are connected remotely, right? So I will show you how to set up your lab, and thereafter we go with the practice. Okay, and one CI/CD pipeline I will show you. Pipeline in the sense, the same story what I have explained, like getting the code, making build, all this store. Okay, this mean by pipeline. I will tell you how to use, how to make this pipeline in the real time. Pipeline I will show you in the real time project pipeline, which is my current project. I will show you. Okay, and AWS services also, because see what I am telling, all these servers, all these tools are installing an operating system Linux, right? Okay, that Linux servers, all the servers are, we are using the cloud servers only, cloud instances only. Okay, so as a DevOps engineer you should know at least one cloud provider, like AWS or Azure or GCP, anyone you must know. Okay, so all AWS services we will discuss. Okay, so whatever the services sufficient for required for DevOps engineer, those services we will going to teach. Okay, after that these are trending tools. Okay, this Docker, Kubernetes, these tools are very popular tools nowadays. Okay, so I will provide a good uh, content in the Kubernetes. Okay, so objects, architecture, components, especially the deployments, how we are going, how we are going to do. Okay, so all this stuff I am going to teach, and interview questions. Okay, and the total fee of this course is 20,000. Okay, so initial payment 10,000 you should pay after 2 3 classes. Okay, if you are really interested to learn this DevOps course, you have to follow all these course requirements. Okay, and the morning 8 to 9 will be the class timings, Monday to Friday. And sometimes in the Saturdays also I will take the classes, so based on the requirement. Okay, any questions on course requirement or any other doubts? And my small request, please type your name and mobile number in the chat. Okay, what is it already? Any questions? I'm able to see Meera Reddy, Harish, Nawaj, and Krishna Swami. Okay, thanks, Harish. So, if no questions, then we will wind up this class today. Okay, so tomorrow we will meet at the same time. Okay, so tomorrow I will show you how to set up your labs. Okay, so thereafter we will see the Linux commands. Okay, our course will be started with Linux only, because these all tools you are going to install on Linux only. So that's the reason you should know Linux. Okay, so what are the commands, how to use? Okay, so we will start with Linux. Thank you guys. Thanks for joining the session. Okay, so if you
Karthik,
have
I
any,
have a question.
yes,
For
Harish.
the lab setup, we need any requirements like, I mean, 32 bits or 64-bit, like that. Any requirements?
Not exactly, Harish. It's a normal laptop is required only. Okay,
Okay.
so because in the AWS cloud only, we are going to set up our lab. Okay,
Okay.
so you should work at least one browser in our lab. Okay, so the AWS, so you have to sign up AWS account. I will show you how
Okay.
to do that. Okay,
Yeah. Okay, Karthik. Sure.
you have to sign up your AWS account. So here we are creating our lab setup. Okay,
Yeah. Okay, Karthik. Sure.
yeah,
Yeah. Thanks, Karthik.
yeah, no problem. Any other questions? Krishna, Meera Reddy.
No, no, Karthik. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, guys. So thanks for joining once again, and we will meet tomorrow. Okay. So I will note down all your numbers, and we will see if you have any questions. So I'm giving my number. Okay, you just ping me. So in case of any course related or duration and this content, okay, any kind of question, you just reach out to me. Okay, yeah, I will try to sort it out. Thank you, guys. Thanks for joining. Bye.
Thank you.
We will see tomorrow. Okay, thanks.